Good.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Chairman Rich, Chairman Kennedy, members of the Joint Committee, and a special hello to my Senator, Leader Butler. My name is Ashlee Bruner. I serve as the policy advocate at the ACLU of Georgia. The ACLU of Georgia is a nonpartisan organization, and we are dedicated to protecting the civil liberties of every Georgian. And the right to vote is one of those sacred civil liberties that we have as Americans. So voting should be easy for every citizen, and every citizen's vote should count exactly the same. I've been personally impacted by precinct changes that have occurred without sufficient notice to voters, and have had to notify some of my neighbors that don't have access to the internet, who otherwise would have been disenfranchised. So it's important that the redistricting process is accessible to all, regardless of barriers regarding language and technology. Fair maps are integral to ensuring that all voters of color have the exact same opportunities as white voters, regardless of where they live and regardless of who they are voting for. Demographic changes of the Greater Macon area and of the state of Georgia as a whole have tremendously changed in the past 10 years, as you've heard. Preliminary data that I'm gonna share again from that 2019 American Community Survey indicates that while the white voting age population in the Greater Macon area has actually decreased by about 5%, Black voters have increased by 7%. Asian voters have increased by 27%, and Hispanic voters have increased by 13%. Overall, the voting age population of residents of color has increased by 7% in this area. So the maps that are drawn during this cycle must account for that growth in our diversity and ensure that voters of color have a fair chance to elect the candidates of our choosing. Fair maps also require that legislators conduct this process transparently and meaningfully consider the suggestions and the concerns of your citizens. Legislators must show their work every step of the way when drawing maps and should conduct public hearings again after the full census data is available for additional feedback from each judicial district. Transparency means that all of these meetings concerning redistricting and map drawing are done publicly with sufficient notice and access for all Georgians, regardless of creed, color, or party. These are just a few of the standards that this committee should adopt to ensure that the redistricting process is open, is democratic, and representative of the interests of all Georgians, preserving faith in our democracy and embodying that sacred ideal of we the people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Bruner.